Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud9 here, and I'm here today to bring you guys a new Bleach Chapter 537 prediction. Finally, we are done with breaks, I believe, probably for a while now, probably till, I'd say, maybe after the summer at least, because I think there's usually probably about 4 or 5 breaks that happen a year in terms of manga. I mean, sometimes it varies with the mangaka, but, there's also those breaks that come along with the magazine itself. They usually happen at least 2 times a year, maybe 3 times sometimes, and then the author may take maybe 2 or 3 breaks. So we probably won't get one for quite a while now, just straight chapters straight on the way through. In case some of you guys didn't see my Naruto prediction, I want to let a lot of you guys know that you won't be getting any predictions from me for at least a few weeks. And the main reason that you won't be getting that is because I'll be going to Japan. Now, I'll be back after a few weeks, and you better believe y'all are going to get a lot of content when I get back. And I'm not saying in the sense like, okay, like I've said sometimes where, you're going to get just a slew of videos just from me, I guess you could say, coming up with different topics. No, this is going to be, of course, from my trip. You're going to see a lot of different videos. I plan on getting a lot of different footage from you guys. And I'm even, of course, when I come back, I'm going to have a number of different segments as well that I'm going to start up. And I may even have a little giveaway for you guys, so I definitely want you guys to look out for that. Now, let me get on to the prediction, and if you're interested in hearing more about what I have to say as far as Japan and what I plan on doing, I'm going to make a separate video that's going to be out either sometime tonight or you're going to see later on tomorrow. So look out for that. But anyway, yeah, this Bleach chapter this week, I told everybody, I mean, straight up, Misaki, does she not seem like Orihime? I mean, really. I mean, this chapter, to me, just kind of shows that, okay, I mean, I know some of you may or may not care about the pairings, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm somebody who really cares about the pairings either, but Ichigo and Orihime, they're getting together. Because, I mean, Misaki's whole characteristics, I mean, even after, like, we see, of course, the main focus of this week's chapter is to finally end off the flashback and show how Ishin and Misaki ultimately ended up getting together. Because we see Ishin, obviously, he suppresses the power of the Hollow, uses Getsuga Tensho inside of Misaki and just decimates the Hollow. Obviously, the Hollow is still in there somewhere, but he's able to suppress it with his power. And at the same time, there was a little comical relief in the chapter, too, with him seeing Misaki all naked. And, the funny thing about whatever you look at an anime, you can tell when they're just gunning for fan service, because y'all cannot tell me, if you looked at a couple chapters ago, Masaki's tits were not that big. And then in this week's chapter, all of a sudden, they like blew up or something, like she just like got implants or something. Like, I don't know what the heck's going on with that. But obviously, Kubo was going for freaking fan service with that. And, Misaki found it hilarious, the fact that Ishin saw her naked, I guess. And, Ishin's trying to kind of brush it off and act like he's not really paying attention. But you can obviously see from that point on, something started to develop. I don't know if maybe it's from that, but, obviously it's not just from that, but they started to, actually really start to like each other from that point on. She wanted to know Ishin's name or whatnot. At that time, obviously, she didn't know it was Ishin. And, obviously, he's more curious about her, too. And from then on, pretty much, Ishin just starts building his life. And he decides, since he knew how to use, or he learned how to, I guess, some of the medical techniques in Soul Society, he basically starts to try to develop that. And with Urahara's assistance, he ends up building a hospital. And from that point on, pretty much Ichigo was born. That's pretty much straight to the point, which I thought maybe he was going to actually go ahead and it was going to be something specific with Ichigo's birth. Maybe like it's going to be a special night, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be that. I guess I kind of envisioned it somewhat similar to like how, if some of you guys, if you've seen the flashback in Naruto, his birth being, special. I don't want to spoil anything in case some people out there haven't caught up with Naruto or whatnot, but, there's something special with his birth, so I thought it was going to be something to like a similar effect in terms of how it was dealt with. But I'm actually glad it wasn't. It was something just a lot different, and seeing how his parents got together was a lot different too. And you see over time, of course, with Misaki, she goes to university. Ishin, he's going and doing his thing with his whole hospital business. And, over time, they just grew closer and closer and closer. So, that was, pretty nice to see. And seeing how she basically became the center of his world, which makes a lot of sense considering the fact he did give up his powers for her. So if they didn't ever hang around or didn't become close in some shape, way, or form, it would be a little weird, at least to me. And, Ryukin, he kind of, I guess you could say, he cared about Misaki a lot. You can kind of tell. But I mean, we all know that he's getting it on with Katagiri after this. I mean, Katagiri pretty much, she started pushing herself on Ryukin. And y'all cannot tell me she didn't in a way. Because as soon as that went down, she was telling him how much she's there for, how much she's there from him, and, how she's been there to serve him from, like, day one, and she'll go wherever he wants, or wherever he wants to do, she's there for him. So, and she even cried for him, so, hey, you can already tell that's probably going to end up being Uryu's mother. Some of you may disagree. Some of you may think it's a little too early to call, but I'm thinking that's where it's going with it. And not only that, but judging by how we're getting a lot more of Katagiri, we got a lot of Katagiri in these flashbacks and saw a lot more, saw her do different things. I'm thinking that she's not going to just disappear after this point. I'm thinking there's actually, and I've seen theories on this on forum sites, so I don't want to sound like I'm being completely original with this. But I'm thinking Katagiri may even be in the Vandenreich. I mean, I think it's a great possibility that we may end up seeing her make an appearance sometime soon. I don't think that she could. I think that, we may even, for all we know, heck, I mean, now this is far-fetched, and Ishin kind of, I guess you could say, disproves this at the end of this chapter. For all we know, Misaki could be still around in some shape, way, or form. Now, I'm going to go with most likely not, but I mean, it would be pretty cool if Kubo did end up pulling that kind of plot twist. At the end of the chapter, obviously, we see Ichigo and Ishin in present time, and Ishin pretty much tells him, you already pretty much knows what happens from then on from your birth. He goes and explains Ichigo's powers, how they developed, how Aizen planned everything. Obviously, Aizen, everything goes according to plan. And at some points, man, where Aizen in his plans and thinking like 1,000 steps ahead, I'm like, dude, man, like, I honestly, the only reason why Aizen lost is for plot reasons. If you look at it, I mean, this dude is so genius to the point where it's like you can't win against him. I mean, it's impossible. If you played a game of chess with Aizen, you would be outmatched from the time you freaking sat down. Instead of having the book Sun Tzu, The Art of War, they need to have a book called, like, Sosuke Aizen, The Art of Trolling, or something like that. Because, I mean, Aizen, we all know the whole plan. I mean, I would not be surprised if what's going on right now is part of Aizen's plans. But anyway, I'm rambling on too much about Aizen right now. The main point, what Ishin was going on, he was talking about, how Ichigo's powers developed, and pretty much the thing that Ichigo doesn't really know from what happens from then on is the truth about his mother's death and how things went actually differently than what he actually thought. And, she died, I guess, in a different way. So that was pretty much the cliffhanger at the end of the chapter, ending off on definitely a good note, which I really enjoyed. We're finally done with the flashback, which I'm pretty glad we're done with it. Not because I hated the flashback. I actually did enjoy the flashback, but sometimes you're ready to, for the story to move along, move forward, see what's going to happen. I mean, we're about to go right back into flashback, obviously, but, it seems like we're starting to get to more hardcore, more real things right now. Things that pertain more to, I guess you could say, what could actually go on down the present line right now. What could actually lead for Ichigo after this particular point. Because for whatever, we don't know what Ishin may tell Ichigo. It may be something that may lead Ichigo to go ask Juha Bach some questions, or maybe even ask Aizen some questions. I mean, that may sound a little weird to some of you, but I mean, hey, we don't know what could happen from this point on. So that's why I'm really excited for what kind of twist that Kubo's about to throw at us, and I know it's going to be good. Now, I would say that, as far as the flashback as a whole, it had some slow parts in there, and, but I mean, overall, I felt like, just as a whole, not just this chapter, but all the chapters as far as flashback goes, it had a straight line as far as pacing. Maybe at some parts or some chapters, there could have been a little bit more squeezed in, so, I would say maybe at the beginning of the flashback, I would say the pacing may have been slightly off, but other than that, I feel like it ended on a pretty good note, definitely. And the cliffhanger obviously is perfect for leading into the next flashback. I didn't actually think Ishin really knew the truth about Misaki, so I'm wondering how he actually ended up finding all this out, because he even stated this week's chapter he didn't gain his powers back until Ichigo, his hollow powers were fully released, which actually shows the fact that Ichigo does have a connection to his mother's hollow power. If his father was suppressing his own hollow power at some point, but obviously that bond ended up breaking, and then that's when he got, or Ishin ended up getting his Shinigami powers back. So, I don't know, I mean, I'm kind of wondering as far as, I'm wondering where, like, his mother ended up, like, what actually happened as far as Graham Fisher go. Did Graham Fisher even play even a slightest big of a role in her death? Did maybe something happen as far as some people speculate maybe Ichigo, his powers, or maybe his hollow power started to merge? Then I don't think that's the case, and I think Aizen interfering is a little too predictable. I feel like it's going to be something else that, like, just coming from left field that a lot of us did not expect at all, because again, I'm pretty sure Kubo knows that we're all expecting Aizen, because Aizen, everything goes according to plan. But it didn't seem that way based on the way Ishin actually left it off. So, I mean, hey, it may have something to do directly with Yuabak, or you know what it may actually have to do with, and I've heard, this from some others, and I've even seen some theories about this on forums, but may have been Soul Society that maybe killed her off. It may even been the Quincy, for all we know. It doesn't necessarily have to be, like, a certain villain, per se. It doesn't have to necessarily be Yuha specifically, or it doesn't have to actually be, anybody, like, be like, Yamamoto or anyone like that. So it could be someone totally different. I mean, heck, for all we know, Genjo may actually have some involvement in this. And the reason why I say Genjo is because we all do know that Genjo, does know Ishin, and he does know Urahara, and he did one time hint to have, have some kind of connection with them. And we do know that at some point in time he was a substitute Shinigami, and they know that as well. So maybe, for all we know, I mean, Genjo may have had a run-in with her and fight with her at some point, and maybe he ended her. I mean, I doubt it, but because maybe if that's the case, then you kind of wonder why there wasn't more emphasis on that in the Full Ring arc, but at this point, I mean, I think we have to try to look at everything and not just look at the obvious. You have to think outside the box, because, Kubo is going with a plot twist at this current time, obviously, because, if he wasn't, then I don't think he would end it off on such a big cliffhanger, especially since, it's obvious that Aizen, we already know he's like the man that knows everything. Other than that, and, that pretty much being what I think is going to happen in the next few chapters, I mean, we're staying in Flashback, and I can pretty much assure you guys we probably will. If we don't, then I'm thinking we'll probably go back to, we may actually see Renji, see a little bit of Renji training or something like that if they do take a short break from it, but I don't think we will. I think he's gonna take us straight through all this and let us see everything that we need to see, so that we can get all the information. And from then on, Ichigo will make his path. And probably once Ichigo makes his decision on what he's going to go ahead and do, that's probably then we'll switch over to Renji, and see what other people in Soul Society are doing. We won't see Kenpachi Zaraki and his Zanpakuto for probably quite a while, because Kubo is going to hold on to that. He's going to hold on to that, trust me. Other than that, good chapter. Flow was pretty good. Pacing was okay. It was, it was good. It was good. It was really good, actually. I didn't have any problems with the pacing as far as it didn't really feel too slow at certain points, and the cliffhanger was good. Pretty much just ending off the flashback. That was the main importance of it, but it wasn't anything just, like, amazing as far as it happened in the beginning of the chapter or anything like that. It's pretty much a chapter just to hype us up. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you did enjoy this video. Look out for my video that I'm going to be talking about, my travels on, or, what my plan is for my channel. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you do enjoy my content. Don't forget to rate it. So if you did like this video, please throw a thumbs up. And if you didn't, then you can throw a thumbs down if you want to. I'm going to do a crossover battle one of these days. I just want to let everybody know out there. And the Otaku Battle Dome is still alive. You won't be getting Battle Dome for a few weeks, though, but I'm going to make a little update video probably tomorrow letting you guys know what's going on with the Battle Dome and the future of the Battle Dome, because the Battle Dome is about to be revitalized. The Battle Dome is about to change. In case some of you guys don't know about the Otaku Battle Dome, pretty much it's my channel where, you know, we talk about, or not my channel, what am I saying? It's a collab channel where a lot of different YouTubers, we all get on there and we talk about the you know, different anime and manga fighting or facing off, like for example Bleach versus One Piece or something like that, different characters, and we debate on it. And I'm pretty sure most of you know about it, but some may not. Definitely think you should check it out and subscribe to us. And you'll get a video probably, I'd say, next month, because me and Ryutachi will both be coming back. We'll be playing catch up like overtime. Anyway, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you later.